We have all seen this video of this game, which is not what it claims to be, but you will see that this ad hides many secrets. Today, we are going to talk about a market worth several tens of billions of dollars which combines addiction, lies, and manipulation. How the video game industry found itself infested by an epidemic that brings in immense amounts of money to people with no particular talent and who exploit a loophole that will probably never be fixed. And this story began to come to life when one evening when I didn't want to be curious, when all I wanted to do was sleep, I got into bed and opened YouTube and came across this. You've probably already seen this ad, or this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. All these mobile games with ads where the only purpose of the ad is to make you say, wait, but he died really quickly, I could go really far, and you find yourself downloading the game. It was the 100th time I saw this ad and I then asked myself the question, how many people download this kind of game? Stuff? And I didn't think but millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions. And the worst part is that when you launch one of these games, they don't look like their ads at all. And so the question is, who is going to play a disgusting game, which also doesn't at all resemble the game they originally wanted to play? Worse than that, who would be willing to spend money to play it? So personally, I would tend to say no one, but putting something forward in advertising on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok is extremely expensive. So these games necessarily make enough money for the people who run these games to say that it is indeed worth spending so much money on marketing their running games. How it is possible? How can you make millions when you promote something that has nothing to do with your product? And your product is disgusting? Well, this huge infestation will start with a game, which is its name. It's Hero Wars. Hero Wars is the game at the base of everything we've seen as a crappy ad. Whether it's mafia games, zombie games, games with anime characters. What the hell is this? Well, all this started because of Hero Wars, and so the first question to ask is, who are the people behind Hero Wars? Information very easily found in a single Google search, Nexters Global Ltd. Nexters is a subsidiary of a company called GDev, based in Cyprus, run by two men, Andrei Fadiev and Boris Dziarskowski. These are two Russians specializing in the development of Facebook, web, and mobile games, who have been working together since 2010 and who now own a company of almost 900 employees, estimated at $430 million, in which in 2021, when the age of gold strange ads, was estimated at $1.6 billion. And despite the fact that GDev has lost 70% of its value in 2 years, which is colossal, it remains in the top 10 of the largest mobile gaming companies, along with Tencent and Nexon, two companies of which we have already spoken in different videos. It's not just any company. Look at that. It's Andrei Fadiev on the cover of Forbes magazine. We're talking about the guy behind the worst ads and the worst games, hailed as a role model, someone who managed to make millions from almost nothing. GDev, they have lots of studios that make mobile games with verifiable ads that have nothing to do with their game. And I try to look, there are some games that seem okay with their ads. It looks like that it's more or less the same thing. But wait, we're going to make an example. I'm going to make you watch an ad and we're going to stop when my IQ mentally reaches 0. There, it's okay. Shall we stop? What is that thing? The whole ad is about solving puzzles to get water from point A to point B. And when you go see the game, it's completely irrelevant. Their company is based in Cyprus, and in Cyprus there are laws against false advertising. Even better than that, the games are available on the App Store and the Play Store, which are both American services subject to American laws in the United States, which also have measures in place to prevent advertising. Lying. So how is this possible? In reality, basic Hero Wars is just an RPG where you collect characters, where you defeat monsters automatically, and the goal is to have the best heroes. The basic advertising, moreover, in 2019, is not at all misleading. Just with this ad, Hero Wars, in 2019, it's already working. It's $300,000 in revenue per month. But for Andrei Fadiev, $300,000 a month isn't enough. What he wants is millions. And he's going to get them when he understands that what people want is not a legendary adventure with improved heroes. People, what they want is simple things to do that keep them busy while they have a little time. While they take the bus, while they take the metro, while they are put in the toilet, in a waiting room. And this is where Andrei Fadiev will make the biggest decision of his entire career. He will decide to create mini-games within these games to attract as many people as possible into his nets, and then those who will stay. He can then take all their money. Because what you see there, it exists. These correspond to very specific moments of the game which do not correspond to 99% of the gameplay, but they are indeed playable minigames in the game. And all the rest which surrounds these minigames are diagrams manipulation that will affect your dopamine production to make you cough up as much money as possible. Everything will be done so that you put as much money as possible into the game. And for 99% of players, it didn't work. They're not going to put anything into the game. But the remaining 1%, they're going to get screwed. And that's what GDF relies on to generate their turnover. Look how well done it is. You come across a Hero Wars ad and imagine it intrigues you. You click on it, you arrive on the application page, and you find lots of images and trailers similar to what you saw. You tell yourself that it's not false advertising, and so you download the games. You actually find yourself playing the game like in the ad. This is exactly what you wanted. You finish your level, and then the game puts you in another type of level before giving you a famous puzzle like in the ad. Again, you finish it, and you're taken to the game's main menu with all the notifications and incentives to get you to spend money. And it's done. You don't know it yet, but you will never see any puzzles in this app again. From now on, it's all farming designed to frustrate you and make you spend money to go faster. There are people who have spent thousands of dollars saying they can't wait to have new puzzles to play. And without realizing that the days pass, the weeks pass, the months pass, and so do the microtransactions. 50 cents here, 2 euros there. Little by little, the amount grows. You have been trapped. It can affect everyone. Children are extremely vulnerable to this type of trap, and the game is bad. There is no age limit on the game. Anyone can play it. Anyone can fall into the trap. All games like that, they're going to play on what activates your brain. You spam with useless stuff that makes noise and images to keep your brain active. They won't deprive themselves of doing erotic things. A $20 bikini skin, there will definitely be people who buy that. So, since the gameplay present in the ad is technically present in the game, well, it's not technically false advertising. If a complaint is filed for false advertising and the judge in question considers that it is indeed misleading, the dev will only have to do a few more levels of his minigame to get back to the right side of the barrier and no longer be disturbed by the courts. That's what Hero Wars did, by the way. They were pissed. They added 5 levels. However, apart from the laws of the different countries concerned, we could say that the internal regulations of the App Store and the Play Store, in order to protect their users, would be able to say, okay, you are legally not considered like a problem, but go ahead, we still decide to ban you from our platform. And no, look, it's very simple. The video game market in 2023 is estimated to be worth $188 billion. The mobile gaming industry in 2023 will be worth $89 billion. 50% of what the video game industry brings in comes from mobile games. And the App Store and the Play Store, they take between 12 and 30% of each microtransaction. They don't care about user experience. They take as much money as possible from all the microtransactions in the game. As a result, they have no interest in preventing games designed to extract as much money from us as possible from existing. That's millions of dollars going into the pockets of the blinds and into the pockets of the studios who have done everything they can to trap us. The puzzle strategy took Hero Wars from $300,000 in revenue per month to $15 million, even though it's the same game. And when the community started shouting a little too loudly, they added 5 more puzzles to calm them down. It worked. And it's not even the calm market strategy because after the puzzles, there was the tower strategy. Another minigame where in the ad, you see the guy fail in a super stupid way. And Hero Wars, they will do everything to make you believe that this mini trick game is the gameplay. Look at the application icon before, after, the screens, the trailers. Everything will lead you to believe that this is the heart of the game. And with this new minigame, which, once again, does not correspond at all to what is actually Hero Wars, the game will rise to $22 million in revenue per month. We went from $300,000 to $15 million to end up at $22 million, although I risk repeating myself, but it's the same game. You know, Andrei Fediv's system, which literally allowed his company to being listed on the American Nasdaq Stock Exchange at more than $1.6 billion. I'm going to blow my brains out. Well, it worked so well that other games did the same, literally like it. Look at this, it's Mighty Party. Finally, sorry, it's the Mighty Party ad and here's the game. Minigame, manipulation, net, money. Did you understand the diagram? Summer 2021, $7 million per month. Andrei Fadiev found the loophole that allows anyone with a little money to make millions. You know, while writing this video, one day I went on TikTok and saw that someone had stolen one of my YouTube videos with a pretty lame mobile game underneath. This is my opportunity to tell you that I have a TikTok account. Don't hesitate to drop your best follow and tag me in the comments of the people who steal the videos. And actually, while we're at it, I also have an Instagram where I talk a lot about the process of creating story videos, a Discord where I'm super active, a Twitch channel where I live 4 times a week. But so, let's come back to this Iman who stole my video on TikTok. I said to myself, wait, but those aren't ads. That's gameplay. I find the name of the game, I watch the ad, I download it, and miracle. It is indeed the same thing. Except you play a level, and then you find yourself in an ad for a Foot Locker game. And actually, you have to play the game. And it's been 5 minutes, I'm stuck in this Foot Locker game. And the worst part is that it's not that bad to play. And after 5 minutes, it puts you on the Play Store page, and you can return to the Fruit Juice game, and you redo a level, and it gives you the Foot Locker ad. I'm going to blow my brains out. And there, you get away with it, but it puts you on an ad for something drawing, and you imagine. You finish your level on Doom, on PC in 4K. And there is Foot Locker who comes to break my balls. But get me out of there, and you redo a level and an ad in a strangely attractive, strangely well-done ad. And that's normal. It's an ad that has nothing to do with gameplay. It's an epidemic. The game that really looks like its advert will inevitably end up attracting you to the game that doesn't look at all like its trailer, and which is viciously designed to make you lose all your money. The circle is complete. The cycle is endless. Mobile gaming is sick, and this disease represents 50% of the video game market. And there are certainly some very good mobile games. I'm not a mobile gamer to begin with, but I've already played mobile games without ads, without the need to spend money, at least without the need to have fun. Because to be competitive, inevitably, when there are microtransactions involved in game design, the one who pays will have the advantage. But the games we see everywhere aren't the cool games. These are the games that have the means to invest millions in advertising and therefore necessarily games that generate maximum money. Those who are made to empty your bank account equally. And it's not the worst, but still, the games that lie in their advertising and then do everything to push you to put money in, those are well-rated games. There is a fan base. There are actually people who like this kind of game, who defend it as being a good game. People who discovered the game before the fake ads and who found the concept cool. Or people who don't care that they've been lied to and who love the game anyway. We talked a lot about Nexter with Hero Wars because it was Andrei Fadiev who really made it popular. But there is another behemoth that produces misleading ads, and that is Playerix, a Russian company which, again, will show you ads that have nothing to do with their game. And it's exactly the same principle, mini-games in all trailers which represent 0.1% of the real gameplay. And you must have already seen one because in 2020, Playerix, they produced 25,000 different advertising spots, each time with different mechanics. They did everything to attract every possible audience to their game which had nothing to do with their advertising. Except that Playerix has already had problems with their ads on British territory. In 2020, their ad was banned from the territory because the mini-games visible in the trailer were so far in the game's adventure that 99% of players never saw them. And it was this error that caused Playerix to have to modify its game. In other words, to add their mini-games instead of no fine, no real sanction, just a letter marked on it. Instead, put your mini-games in the game. And although these are games that generate much less money than before, it's still colossal. In 2019, Andrei Fadiev opened a door which started an epidemic which still today generates millions, and which is far,